In this video you will learn how to plan your Switzerland trip in regards of how to choose your activities. Hello everyone, my name is Jemo and I'm your Switzerland travel expert. A good trip always requires proper planning. This all starts with the question, why would you want to travel to Switzerland and what are you going to do over there? Switzerland has a quite long history of tourism and has been mainly admired for the Alps, its raw natural sights, villages, valleys and panoramas. Now of course there's a lot more to do in here. We're going one by one through each kind of activity, and by the end of this video I'm pretty sure that you'll have a clear idea what you want to do on your Switzerland trip. Now let's start with the first category, and that would be to visit the Swiss Alps and the summits. I would say this is a must-do when you come to Switzerland. You should go up to the Alps because there you can experience the original and raw side of Switzerland. The Swiss Alps are located in the central, southern and eastern part of the country. There are numerous places to visit around there, and here I would like to provide you a list. Zermatt, the home of the Matterhorn, Saas-Fee, the glacier village, the Bernese Oberland with its many treasures, Appenzell and much more. When going up to the summits, you will get brilliant views over the many peaks and valleys. Very breathtaking would be the panoramas at Zermatt's Gornegraat, Montfort, Diekishorn, at the Alpstein and at the Grindelwald First. And well, there are just too many of them. To be very honest, you don't always have to go and experience the most famous panoramas. Sometimes the less known places are about as good, but definitely they're going to be a lot cheaper. The second thing would be to visit one of the many traditional villages here in Switzerland. Switzerland is a very modern country, but it also managed to balance well with preserving its traditional lifestyle and architecture. Where else could you experience this more than in the many Swiss villages? There are around 50 beautiful traditional villages to visit here in Switzerland. Each of them has its own charm and look. Over there you can admire the many traditional houses, feel the serenity and sometimes even witness some cultural practices. If you're into villages, then you're definitely right on my channel because I keep posting a lot of videos about the many beautiful villages here in Switzerland. Number 3 would be to go to one of the cities. Switzerland is not only rural but also urban and very modern. The best places to witness this would be in the cities. Some of the cities are more hip, for example Zurich or Basel, and other ones are more classy like Lucerne, Sion or Thun. In the cities you can go for shopping, walk through the various alleys, cross bridges, visit the landmarks and also experience a lot of Swiss culture. Yes, even in the cities they have well preserved its traditions. If you're enjoying watching this video so far and you're new to my channel, I would highly appreciate if you consider subscribe. Now number 4 would be to go to explore one of the valleys here in Switzerland. Up on the summits you will have the breathtaking views, but down in the valleys there's actually so much more to explore. Each valley got its own culture, architecture, mentality and natural treasures. Really beautiful are the Valle Verzasca, which hosts amazing swimming places. Same at the Valle Maggia. Then there are some raw valleys like the Val Bavona or Lichtental that feel out of this world. There are some valleys that have incredible natural treasures like the Lauterbrunnen Valley with its 72 waterfalls or the Val d'Airain with the natural Disney castle. I can't list them all, there are just too many wonderful valleys here in Switzerland. Number 5 would be to go to one of the lakes. Well, Switzerland actually got so many of them. The large ones would be around Zurich, Lucerne, Thun or Montreux, and then there are plenty of alpine lakes which are far less visited. Some wonderful lakes would be the Lac Bleu, the Lac da Palponia, Lake Sauseo or the Oschinensee, and of course many more. Most of the large lakes are convenient to visit because basically you can park your car directly there. For the alpine lakes, however, you would need to go on a hike, which just takes us to the next point. Number 6 would be hiking. Well, this is actually one of the favorite activities of us Swiss people, and you definitely should consider going for a hike as well. Hiking keeps you fit and you will be seeing many interesting things, panoramic views, summits, lakes, glaciers, waterfalls and villages. There's so many hiking trails from very easy to pretty difficult, so I'm very sure there's going to be at least one of them that is going to be perfect for you. There are easy and short hiking trails, for example up to the Stoiber waterfall, which takes only 40 minutes. Easy and long hikes, for example like the one along the Bisse de Nende, which by the way is very refreshing. Hard and short hiking trails would be like the one up to the Lac Bleu, 40 minutes, but it's pretty steep. And then there would be hard and long trails. This would be for example the one around Eschinensee. Number 7 would be to go to see one of the waterfalls. There are plenty of waterfalls to visit. Some of them are very accessible, like the Rhine Falls, which you can reach by train, or the Giesbach Falls that you may visit by boat or car. For other waterfalls you would have to go for a hike or at least on a short walk. If you're a waterfall lover, I made a top 10 video about the most beautiful waterfalls here in Switzerland, so after watching this video you definitely should go and check it out. Number 8 would be to go to see one of the glaciers here in Switzerland. Unfortunately, many of the glaciers have lost a lot of their mass. This is because of global warming. I guess if you're visiting them in the next couple of years, it shouldn't really be a problem, but I really don't know what's going to happen in 15 to 30 years from now. Still, you got the chance to visit many of them. Some of them have man-made caves that you could enter, for example the one at the Rhone Glacier or the ice pavilion in Saas-Fee. Otherwise, there are also some natural glacier caves like the one at the Aletsch Glacier or the Zinal Glacier. Definitely a big highlight is to see the Aletsch Glacier from the Eckishorn or the Jungfrau Joch station. That's the largest glacier of the Alps. Number 9 is one of my favorite activities, and that would be to go to experience our traditional culture here in Switzerland. If you're a culture lover, Switzerland has plenty of living traditions. Important months would be February and early March because of Carnival, September for Alpine descent, cow shows and cheese sharing, and then December because of Christmas. Where can you experience the traditional culture? Basically anywhere around Switzerland, in the cities, villages and even in the valleys. To give you a list of certain events that I consider are being really interesting for you to see: the Basler Fasnacht, especially the Morgenstreich, the Chienbese, the carnival at the Lötschental called Tschekete, Alpabzug in Appenzell, Bernese Oberland, basically in so many places you can experience this, Chesteilet, especially the one in the Justital. And then of course there are many more, especially to mention here the Carnival of Lucerne. I have unfortunately not filmed it yet, but hopefully next year. Number 10 would be to go for an adventurous activity. There are many adventure activities that are offered here in Switzerland. For example, parks would be climbing ladders, trees and do zip lining, then also long zip lines or visiting dams or gorges. During winter, definitely consider going for sledding or skiing at the many resorts. Some great ski resorts would be the Aletsch Arena, Flumser Berg that is very close to Zurich, the Porte du Soleil that hosts one of the steepest slopes in the entire world, or then in Samnaun. Plenty of things that will be very thrilling. For sledding, especially for a beginner, then would highly recommend to go to Andermatt. The toboggan run over there is very easy. Well, if you prefer it a bit faster and especially longer, then Bergün is going to be perfect for you. These are the kind of activities that you should be thinking of when you're making your plans to come to Switzerland. In the upcoming episodes, I'm going to talk about how to choose your destinations, how to plan around the weather and especially according to the season, how to save costs, and whether you should be actually traveling by car or by train. If you've enjoyed watching this video, then please leave a like and a comment, and we're going to see each other on the next episode.